Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Quick housekeeping. Check out the affiliate links in our description. Using them supports the show, and please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a pretty big one: AI, artificial intelligence, and its growing role in, well, how we learn and how we research things.
It's everywhere now, isn't it?
It really is. We've got a fascinating mix of sources today. A global study looking at trust in AI, a brand new U.S. executive order, some specific research on AI in universities, and K-12 schools, too.
And even how it's impacting creative fields, right? Like graphic design.
Exactly. So our mission today is to kind of cut through the noise, understand what's really changing, the potential, but also, the challenges as AI gets more embedded in education and research.
Sounds good. And starting globally, it's interesting that this big study you mentioned shows a real worldwide agreement. AI offers huge opportunities, transformative ones even.
But there's a but.
There's always a but. The consensus is we need responsible innovation and smart regulation. It's not just about letting the tech run wild.
So ensuring it actually helps people, not
Yes.
just exist.
Yeah, precisely. The study really stresses education and skills development, making sure students, teachers, everyone really can keep up so the benefits are shared, not creating new divides.
Okay. And you mentioned UNESCO.
Yeah, the UN's educational body. They're really pushing what they call a human-centered approach, focusing on inclusion, equity, making sure this tech doesn't leave people behind. They've even got guidance for policymakers, competency frameworks, practical stuff.
Right, being proactive, which brings us to the U.S. There's been some policy movement there recently.
Yes, quite significant. President Trump signed an executive order. This was back on April 23rd, 2025. It's called Advancing Artificial Intelligence Education for American Youth.
Okay, advancing AI education. What's in it? What does it actually aim to do?
Well, it sets up a few key things. First, a White House task force specifically for AI education to kind of coordinate efforts across the government.
Centralizing things.
Exactly. Then it encourages public-private partnerships. The idea is to get companies and government working together on creating AI learning resources, online materials, that kind of thing.
Makes sense. What else?
It also puts a priority on getting AI into teacher training and into grant programs. There's even a presidential AI challenge plan for students and educators.
That competition. Interesting.
Yeah, and the National Science Foundation, the NSF, is directed to prioritize research specifically on AI in education, how to use it effectively.
So, quite a few moving parts. What's the underlying reason given for this big push?
The official line is about preparing American youth for an AI-driven future, making sure the workforce is ready, basically, and boosting U.S. competitiveness globally in AI. It's framed as building on past AI initiatives.
Okay, so policy is definitely shifting gears. Let's pivot to the research now. What are we actually learning about how AI is impacting, say, higher education?
Yeah, there's some really interesting work. A review in NPJ Science of Learning looks specifically at how AI tools support something called self-regulated learning, or SRL.
Self-regulated learning. Okay, what exactly is that?
It's essentially how students manage their own learning process, setting goals, planning how they'll study, using different strategies, monitoring their progress, reflecting on what worked.
Taking ownership of their learning.
Exactly. And the review found AI tools like chatbots, adaptive feedback systems, those intelligent e-textbooks, they can actually help with different parts of that.
How so?
Well, for goal setting, AI might suggest personalized learning paths or use predictive analytics. During study, it can offer instant tailored feedback, keeping students engaged.
Okay.
And afterwards, it can prompt self-assessment, help students reflect more effectively using AI-driven insights.
That sounds potentially very powerful, like a personalized tutor.
Yeah.
But I imagine there are caveats.
Oh, definitely. The researchers raised a big flag about over-reliance. If students lean too heavily on AI to guide them or give answers, they might not develop their own self-regulation skills. Their autonomy, their self-efficacy could be undermined.
Right, it could become a crutch.
Exactly. So the key, they stress, is balance. AI as a support, not a replacement for the student's own effort and thinking.
Makes total sense. A tool, not the whole toolbox. What about actual student usage? Are university students using this stuff?
Oh, massively. A 2025 survey found 92% of students are using AI in some way. That's up from 66% just the year before. It's a huge jump.
Wow, 92%. And what do they think about it?
They see the benefits,
Hmm.
better grades maybe, more efficiency in studying, but they also have concerns, especially around AI being used for assessment, like grading.
Yeah, AI marking essays, I can see why that would raise eyebrows.
Mhm.
What did the report suggest universities should do about this widespread use?
It recommended institutions really review their assessment methods, think about how AI changes things, also, critically, support faculty and staff in understanding AI, build their literacy.
Training for the educators.
Yes. And importantly, they advised against just taking a punitive approach, banning it or punishing students. Instead, encourage collaboration, share best practices for teaching with AI.
Adaptation, not prohibition.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the flip side? How is AI helping the educators themselves in higher ed?
Well, currently, it seems AI's bigger impact might actually be on supporting educators,
Yeah.
helping streamline lesson planning, automating some admin tasks.
Freeing up time?
Exactly. And even professional development. Things like AI coaching tools that can give objective feedback on teaching, cheaper than human coaches, potentially.
Interesting. But what about that big promise of personalized learning for students? Is that happening yet at universities?
According to this report, that's still more aspirational. The potential is there, huge potential, but it's not widespread reality yet. We need more research on how to do it effectively and at scale.
Still early days for truly personalized AI learning pathways in higher ed, then.
Got it.
Got it.
But just to sum up the benefits we are seeing, Perplexity had a list, right?
Yeah, they laid out quite a few. Personalized learning potential is one, even if it's still developing. More efficient study tools,
Mm-hmm.
instant feedback, AI for career guidance, interactive simulations.
Also, admin efficiency, better analytics for tracking student progress, accessibility support, help for faculty creating content. It's a broad range.
Definitely a lot of angles there. Okay, let's switch gears to K-12. Younger students. How is AI showing up in primary and secondary schools? Similar trends.
Some similarities, yes, but also some unique things. In K-12, you see AI for personalized learning, definitely, adaptive platforms that adjust difficulty, classroom tools, virtual assistants for teachers and students.
Like chatbots for homework help.
Could be, yeah. Also, AI is being used in curriculum development, and there are specific equity initiatives using AI to help underrepresented students. Plus, admin efficiency, like in higher ed, and teacher professional development.
Can you give an example of that personalized learning in K-12? What does it look like?
Sure. Think of software that tracks how a student is doing on, say, math problems. If they're struggling, it offers simpler problems or hints. If they're zooming ahead, it gives them harder challenges. It adapts in real time.
Right. And teachers using virtual platforms.
Yeah, maybe platforms where they can manage assignments or chatbots that can answer common student questions after hours. We're also seeing actual AI curricula starting to appear in some schools. Initiatives like AI for K-12 are pushing for this nationally.
Teaching kids about AI, not just using it as a tool.
Exactly.
And those equity initiatives you mentioned. How does AI help there?
The focus is often on creating culturally responsive AI tools, making sure the materials resonate with students from diverse backgrounds. Collaborating with educators from those communities is key, and using AI to bring advanced STEM opportunities to schools that might lack resources.
Leveling the playing field, hopefully. What about the schools themselves? The operations?
AI is helping there too, optimizing bus routes, managing school facilities, and automating teacher tasks, grading multiple choice tests, maybe helping draft lesson plans, again, freeing up teacher time.
It sounds like a lot of potential benefits, but K-12 must face some serious hurdles trying to implement all this.
Oh, absolutely. Big challenges. Funding is number one. AI tools and the necessary infrastructure aren't cheap, especially for poorer districts. That ties into the digital divide, reliable internet, enough devices for students.
The basics need to be there first.
Right. Then there's teacher training, making sure educators feel comfortable and ready to use these tools effectively. Curriculum alignment is another puzzle, fitting AI into existing standards.
And the ethical stuff?
Huge. Privacy and data security are paramount, especially with kids' data.
How's
Algorithmic bias is a major concern, ensuring the AI isn't perpetuating existing inequalities. Plus, worries about reduced human interaction, academic integrity.
Like cheating using AI.
Yeah. And just the sheer speed of change is hard for schools to keep up with. Resistance to change is always a factor, too.
Lots to navigate. Okay, briefly, let's touch on creativity. You mentioned graphic design. How's AI changing that world?
Tools like Midjourney, DA-Lo, they're making waves. Designers can use them to brainstorm concepts incredibly quickly, generate dozens of visual ideas in minutes.
Speeding up the ideation phase.
Massively. And automating tedious tasks like maybe removing backgrounds or resizing images, it lets designers focus more on the high-level strategy and creativity.
So it's augmenting the designer, not replacing them. For now, anyway.
That seems to be the dynamic currently. But it definitely means designers need to adapt. Learn prompt engineering, figure out how to integrate these tools into their workflow. New skills are required.
Constant adaptation seems to be the theme here. So looking across everything, policy, research, K-12, higher ed, creative fields, what are the big takeaways? What should we be prioritizing?
Several things stand out. We really need to get better at measuring if these AI tools actually work in education.
Yeah.
Are they effective, efficient, cost-effective? We need solid evidence.
Benchmarks and data.
Yes. Developing standardized ways to test educational AI is crucial. Fostering collaboration between nonprofits and for-profits could also be really beneficial, driving innovation but keeping equity in mind.
And the human element.
Absolutely central. We have to keep the focus on human agency, on inclusion, on ethics. AI should serve human goals in education, not the other way around.
It's that balancing act again.
Yeah.
Leveraging the tech while holding on to core values.
Exactly. It comes down to investing in responsible innovation and really supporting the educators and learners through this transition. That's how we make sure the benefits are shared widely and equitably.
This has been incredibly insightful. So, to wrap up, AI is clearly moving fast in education and research. Huge potential for personalization, efficiency, new ways of creating. But, and it's a big but, we need to be really mindful of the ethics, the equity, the access, and the constant need for people to adapt and learn alongside the machines.
Yeah, the global awareness, the policy shifts like the U.S. executive order, the ongoing research, the classroom tools, it all paints a picture of, well, a pretty fundamental shift happening in how we learn and discover things.
It really does. Which leaves us with a final thought for you, our listeners, to consider. As AI automation gets deeper into learning and knowledge work, how do you think that balance between the tech and human interaction will ultimately shape society? And maybe more personally, what role do we all have in making sure this evolution happens responsibly?
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.